Forward to declare. Good day. Thank you for coming back on the show and continuing to share your food. Um, Introduce yourself and tell us why you picked this particular recipe.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. It's Danica. As you may have recall, I am a current graduate student at Southern Illinois University, studying to get a master's in philosophy and a graduate certificate in women's gender and sexuality studies. And today I am going to show you a little recipe of a soup me and my partner created. They're not currently being filmed right now. It's just going to be me doing something we both co-created. And the inspiration for why this soup in particular was because both myself and my partner are grad students, and we were scrounging the fridge to figure out something to eat. And this soup was basically a, an idea of what we had available that we came up with. And a big what's something that's really important for me is that any recipe I share with you all is accessible for people, especially financial and mobility. And in the sense of like, if you find that it's really hard to get to to have the energy to make something, hopefully the recipes I share are very simple, can be done in a half hour, if that. So that's the
Now, you said
plan.
accessible. For me, two of these ingredients were really hard to find.
Oh no.
Spam, I went to three stores before I actually found. Now, we had canned meat,
Canned meat's fine.
which is technically the same thing, but you know, I found it, canned meat. And then I asked three or four people and they said, go to this particular store. And I went to that store and they had a big sign that said canned meat. And it turned out that there was no canned meat there. It was on a different aisle. Anyway, it was an actual exciting expedition on trying to find spam. I felt uh, hardship. And then I bought the soup. I'll tell you right now. Can you see? I got the wrong one. I got chicken noodle.
I mean, that's fine.
I'm just saying. I didn't realize it until this morning. I just grabbed it, and yes, okay. Um. Anyway, um, it was, and then the greens. I actually had an overabundance of random greens. This was a daikon radish I got from the farmer's market, and this is the top greens. And then my mom gave me some greens from her garden. And then, have you ever done this? These are carrots, full carrots from
Oh,
the market. Did you know you can use the top greens?
I did not.
People do
I
not use
will
them.
I will say that this kind of recipe is one of those where if you have more stuff in your fridge, it's one of those you can and are encouraged to add to it. It's just the list of ingredients for the recipe was just what we had
Yeah,
that we were like, okay, we want to put this in a soup.
yeah. We actually did. A, a lady came on, Suzanne, and she made damn simple, boring ass soup. And it was literally, what do you have in your fridge? And every one of us made a different version, and all of us said ours was the best. Of course, it's over Zoom; you can't taste each other. But um, yep. I mean, for me, I was intrigued by this because you say things you just have in your fridge. I don't have spam in my fridge.
Well,
And
technically
it's
it would be in the
part of your
pantry.
culture,
So
right?
the thing with the spam where I was able to get low sodium spam is you can rather easily find low sodium spam if you're willing to shop at Kroger or Walmart in the States
Yeah.
or equivalent. So that's where I
But I mean,
get a
isn't
lot of
spam part of
my
a big part
ingredients.
of your culture? Like it's
Mhm.
seems like certain countries, it's I mean, my friends in Hawaii, they have like
Mhm.
four different kinds of spam in their cupboard at all times, and it stays good ever. So
Yeah, yeah, no, spam is a big deal in Filipino culture. But Spam is not technically native to the Philippines. It's technically an American import. And the history of how Spam got to the Philippines is a fascinating one. But ultimately, yeah, it is something that I usually have, but I don't always cook with simply because sometimes it's a little difficult to figure out what to have with Spam, though. I'm a very simple person. My go-to breakfast, if I have a bunch of cooked slices of Spam, is to make sure I have some rice and then a fried egg. That's my breakfast. Is
Mhm.
egg, rice, Spam. I'm good. So,
Yeah, actually, when I went to finally to the Spam store, I was intrigued by how many flavors they had.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
There's a
just
whole Spam culture that even I'm not super familiar with. When I go to the grocery store, 9 times out of 10, the only Spam I can find is the regular Spam and the low sodium Spam, and or
well,
very
I went
minimal
really
salt.
wild. I got the low fat, low sodium, low calorie one. I was just
I
like,
will I will
it was
say,
actually cost more money. They take stuff out of
yeah,
it, it costs more money.
yeah, I will say you will be able to taste a difference if you are just eating slices of Spam, if depending on if you go regular, low sodium, no sodium, low fat. The low fat, no sodium is better for cooking. The low sodium is good if is better as an alternative to the regular if you don't want as much sodium. That's what I found. So if you are eating the Spam as slices by itself, you want the low sodium, but not the no fat because there's something about the no fat where you lose a lot of the flavor.
Okay.
Spam.
Yeah, I've come across that myself in just anything that where it's low fat, you eat like twice as much because you're not getting like the satisfying flavor or
Oh
nutrition.
yeah.
I don't know. So
I
um
will say for the
definitely.
purposes of today, that will not matter.
All right. Let's get cooking. I'm
For
excited to
sure.
I think I've only had Spam like a couple times in my life. So
I've had it more times than I care to share.
like, and I mean, should I read what actually is in it or just eat it?
I mean, if you want, but
Okay. I guess you need to teach me how to open it. First of all,
so
it's not like
what
this
I
one has
did
like
was
a
I
pop
pulled,
top.
you grab the top and you kind of like when you open a can, you pull it towards you.
And so
So
this
grab,
is like
and then you pull.
I guess I should switch camera. The one I had in the past had like a key that rolled around the edge of it. It was like
Yeah,
so this
that's the
one,
old style. So that it's like opening a canned soup. Yep. Then you just
yeah,
pull,
it
it comes
opens
off,
just fine.
and then you should be able to flip it upside down and shake it out, and it should come out easily.
And bend it
Yeah.
down.
As you try to shake it out, you're gonna want to make sure you squeeze it so that way there's some air in there. So that
Because
way.
you how you did it, it just came out. There you go. You can tell a spam expert by how they can get their spam out. They just like
It just tells you how often I've cooked with Spam.
I'm like squeezing it to try to. Oh, there you go.
There
So
you go.
it was like long ways. If I squoze it slightly, it opened up the can and then it just came right
Yep,
out.
there you go. It's supposed to, it should easily pop out. So that's fine. And then from there, what we're going to want to do first is we want to chop our Spam into slices. It doesn't need to be as thin as possible, but you're going to want about,
Ooh, it's got
um,
that meat jelly on it. I
don't
love
think about it too much.
like if you ever had head cheese, I love head cheese, and so that's got that good meat jelly on it.
I have not, but I'll take your word for it. So then you're going to want to cut first into slices, and then what we're going to end up doing ultimately with the Spam is we're going to cube all of the Spam in the tin.
Okay. I mean, this just looks like lunch meat that I grew up in the South. I mean,
Technically, technically Spam is ready-made. You can technically eat it straight from the can because this was in World War II, how US soldiers were able to, it was either World War II or World War One. Spam was created as a way to ensure their soldiers could have meat while on the front. So that's why Spam has all the qualities it has, but it tastes better when it's cooked up, especially when you fry it up, which we're going to do momentarily.
I
And
mean,
now,
it has the texture of lunch meat, but it actually has more flavor.
oh yeah,
It it's like I feel like lunch meat might be like white meat, and this has dark meat in it. I don't know. That's like the
it's
difference.
just meat puree that's stuffed into a can. And then, um,
Yeah, cubing.
and then from here, I'm going to cube it up. So I'm just stacking a couple of slices on top of each other and to cube it up.
Now
And
it
then,
more than a lot of meat. It's sticking to the knife, so I'm like turning the knife a little sideways.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because you should have a pile of cubed meat once you're done with this. And then if you have other veggies that you want to add to this, specifically ones that require chopping, I would encourage you to do that as well. Because I have spinach, and that's what I'm going to be adding because that's just what I listed as the ingredients. I'm not going to chop up the spinach. And the explanation for that I will um, explain to you all or show you all because before we even add any of the soup, we're going to fry up the spam and any of the other veggies that you prep will also be fried up at the same time with the spam after you cook up the spam.
I
So,
guess I got these carrots. I could cut one out.
yeah, if you want to add the carrots, add the carrots.
Now one thing I always have is onions. I could put an onion in it.
Yeah, if you want to add onion as well, you can add it. I'm adding onion is through onion powder in this soup. So, as a general rule, if you have the actual food itself for what you want to cook with, it's better to use that to add flavor to the dish than a powder or seasoning form of it.
I
But
think not only flavor but nutrition wise too.
oh yeah, yeah. But because I'm functionally recreating how my partner and I made this soup, this is how we're going to do it without onion. But this is a add as much or as little as you want to this, and you just want to add the veggies and seasonings to taste. The seasonings listed are more just the seasonings that my partner and I added to it. And
At least it's not as bad as I found this book. It was more like a pamphlet. It was like the Poor Student's Handbook to Cooking, and the only recipe I remember is get 30 packets of ketchup, and that's how you start the tomato soup.
oh
Just like, but you know
yeah, no,
what you have.
yeah. So it doesn't have to all be even once you get all the spam. I just prefer my cubes small. But anyway, once that's done, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because after dealing with meat stuff, I don't like touching my other stuff. So if you need to prep your other veg, I'll wait momentarily while y'all do that other prep while I go wash my hands and I'll be right back.
I did go to the farmer's market yesterday, so mostly I just got snacks. Got a lot of these little snacker peppers. starting to be the end of the season here of stuff, so I went a little wild and got a lot of these done.
So just came back from washing my hands. All right. So that's pretty much it for the meat. Once you have all the other veg that you want to have prepped up to add to the soup, I'm going to get the stove set up and then move the camera a little closer so that way y'all can see a little better what I'm going to be doing. So
I'm debating whether I don't think I need 2 cans. Whether
no, you won't need 2 cans.
I'm gonna, but I wanted to open it up and taste the difference between off brand, and
On
actual.
brand.
All right, here we go. Let me see if I'm now an expert at opening these cans. So squeeze it long ways. It like popped open,
Yep.
and then nope, that one still didn't.
Well,
Oh yeah, there we go. A little easier. Well, this one has extra jelly in it, so extra
yeah.
less meat. Then you can look at the color. The Spam is a lot.
It's a lot more pink. Yeah.
Yep, a lot more flavorful. So here we go. The Spam definitely has more density. Oh, the Spam is like double the flavor.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, now we know.
At least with this one. Yep. There we go. And this one is full salt, so you think it'd have more flavor, but
Mm-mm. I guarantee you that part of the reason the Spam tastes a lot better is because there's a more of a variety of meat in the Spam than the
okay.
combination. So I'm gonna start by heating up the pan I'm gonna be cooking with, and I forgot to add this on as an ingredient, but also use some oil. If you don't have oil, you can use water, and that's a way to.
Hey, the Spam isn't like half fat.
I mean,
I always just I always just imagined that Spam was like a lot of fat.
if you don't want to add additional fat, that's fine because the Spam should be more than enough fat from it. I just like adding a little bit just so it doesn't just a bare hint, just because the last thing I want is the Spam sticking to it because I'm also going to have veggies adding. I'm adding veggie, and because I'm going to be adding veggie, you won't need too much oil. Just a quick splash. Though this thing of oil I have is a little hard to control. And then have that heat up. And then
Now
once
you mentioned it's always better to have like fresh, but then you said
mhm.
in your recipe, I really like jarred garlic. Can you tell me?
Because I don't like chopping garlic.
Oh, okay, good reason. Okay. Otherwise,
that
I
and
was just like,
also that and also chopping garlic can be inaccessible for a lot of people because it requires a lot of fine motor skills. Um, and unless you're willing to, if you want to chop up your own garlic, cool. Otherwise, no shame in using the garlic. I
and
am not going to shame people for using garlic.
I do recommend getting one of those garlic squeezers.
Oh, yeah.
But but one trick with the garlic squeezer is don't peel the garlic, just put it in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I never knew that, and so I hated that thing because you still have to peel it, and you still have to clean it, and I was like, why is that any quicker? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, um, you can just put the whole thing in there with the peel. I buy, I now buy local garlic, and it's elephant garlic, and it's just one big one. That's um, anyway. I'm out right now, so we're doing the jarred garlic.
All right, so it looks like my pan is definitely heated up, so definitely be careful because hot oil. Right. So
Spam it.
spam first. Yeah. So I'm gonna put the spam in. All right. Cooking spam, what you're going to want to do is make sure it gets a little toasted. So it should have, from instead of that bright pink, it should deepen to a more darker salmon pink color with the frying. And I'm just doing it in the pot I'm going to be making my soup in just because I don't want to be making extra dishes. There's no need to with this recipe. You could technically make this all in one dish.
And we're adding what I call poor man's flavor, which is browning. It's like that is it's a very easy way to add flavor to everything.
Oh yeah.
And it's a fine line between brown and burnt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because really what we're doing with the spam is we're just heating it up and making sure it gets a little bit of color to it. And then once we're satisfied with the color of the spam, then we add our veggies and we kind of fry them up real quick too. Yeah, so while you're doing that, I will also prepare the cans of my soup as well. Just pop them open. So that way, when I get to the point of adding the soup in, it'll be after everything's done, and then it'll be a matter of just heating the soup up after getting the soup prepped. All right.
Now, I would say I'm a little disappointed in that it's frying it and it's not really had that much flavor. It's like usually when I like fried meat, it starts releasing a lot of flavors into the air. This one doesn't seem to be.
It's because we're working with spam, but a lot of the flavors packed into the meat itself. That's why with the veggies, when you add the veggies in to fry it, that's where most of your flavor is actually going to be coming from. It's going to be coming from whatever veggies and seasonings you add.
It's definitely jam packed with flavor, but it's none of the flavor smells are coming out. That's interesting.
All right, so and I said bundle of spinach. The reason I said bundle is because when I had bought the spinach, when I had made it with my partner, I got spinach from the farmer's market. But I had no way of knowing how much spinach was a bundle of spinach, so I'm presuming it's around 4 or 5 ounces. I got a 10-ounce bag of spinach just to be safe, but
It doesn't matter however much spinach you go, at the end it'll be a teaspoon.
pretty much.
Like
It
it's
doesn't really matter how much veg you add.
I mean, well, I'm just like spinach itself, it just kind of like disappears if you very easily when you cook it.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
it's
always
gonna
like to add spinach.
reduce.
I personally like to add spinach like literally a minute before I serve it. Otherwise, it's all gone.
The main thing is the reason we're doing it like this is because that was just my partner and I had talked before on how to cook spinach without because apparently if you boil spinach, it will release sulfurous compounds and it will smell not so pleasant in your kitchen. So we figured having it fried up a little bit and then adding the soup would be a good way of going about having some kind of veg in the meal without also uh, having the unpleasant smells associated with boiling spinach. So I added a little more veg,
I
moving it
forgot to put
around.
I forgot to put garlic, or did we not put it in yet?
We should add some of the garlic now. That's a good. Thank you for reminding me of that because I
Did
was
you
going to
call it
forget.
did you call it jarlic?
Yeah, jarred garlic. That's the terminology I've heard online. Some online cooking creators call their garlic. The jar garlic they use, jarlic, and I like it, so it's stuck.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
add however much you want. My partner and I love garlic, so we just add a lot. And also with jarred garlic, uh,
It, it,
a lot of the
it has very
flavor.
little strength.
Garlic's your friend one, but also with jarred garlic, a lot of the flavor uh, is not as present as with fresh. So adding more doesn't is not going to hurt you. So we're at the point now with the veg on my end and with the spinach that it's looking about ready to start adding the soup.
Yeah, look how much my greens are like a third of it too, so greens
Yeah,
yeah,
this
they
is
cook
now
down.
is the time we want to add the soup. So just I would start with adding both the cans in.
Now I grew up poor. I always rinse out the can with a little bit of water. I don't know.
Yes.
That's
That part of it's the instructions with my cans that I
but
have is
also
like
if you look at the bottom of most cans, it like the flavors fall to the bottom of the can unless you shake it up before you.
yeah, with the cream of chicken, I'm finding I have to scoop it out with a spoon, so that's fine. And if you're also using cream of chicken, you're also going to want to scrape as much of that soup off the lid as possible.
And then add the water to it and shake it. Yep.
And since we're using 2 cans, we do 1 can water, 1 can milk. And if you're one of those people where it's like, milk doesn't work with me, you can just do 1 can water for each can, basically.
And I made the I grabbed the wrong one. I got chicken noodles, so it's a broth.
It's gonna be okay.
Like,
You're still gonna end up with the same result of soup. And that is the goal. And then once you have everything in here, you're going to want to reduce the heat. So that way, basically, the rest of the cooking time is just spent having the soup warm up and the flavors melt together. And then before you add the lid, though, you're gonna want to add your seasonings. Stir it a little bit, and then let them all incorporate. So I still need to rinse my cans.
it's pretty flavorful, just like it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and part of the reason I also got low sodium spam is because the cream of chicken soup I have usually has the full sodium in it, so you really don't need to add salt if you're going to be adding seasoning to this. You will have plenty from the combination of the uh, cream of chicken and the spam.
Yeah, pretty much any can. First of all, so this little teeny can, one of these cans, it says 2.5 servings. And then if you
Mm-hmm.
read this, the sodium, you're like, oh, it's only 3%. Well, if you eat the whole can, you know, well, no, not 3%, 39%. So that's a serving, but this has 2.5 servings. So this one can gives you more sodium than you need for the day.
Yep.
If you eat the whole can, which me, that's a cup. I mean, it's not very much, right? So yeah, if I'm eating any canned food, it gives me too much sodium for the day.
Which is why, as well, if you use the no sodium spam, that's why I say it's okay to use that because you're going to have so much sodium from the canned soups that you really won't want to be adding extra sodium. So I got one can, gonna fill up the other can with some milk.
Mm-hmm. What I forgot what spices.
I said onion powder and pepper. We kept it really simple, but you can season it however you want to season it.
Uh,
Um, I don't really like a lot of spicy food, which is why there's not a lot of spicy seasoning. It's just very simple seasonings. And also keeping it simple because not everyone's going to have the same spices in their spice rack. But if you already have onion in there, you can skip the onion powder.
Nice, quick, and simple.
Yeah, no, and then I'll stir this around, put the lid on top, and then after I add my seasonings, of course,
Mm.
and then crack some pepper in this.
That spam is you're so right. Frying it, I mean, it changes the texture because it's like crispy on the outside, and but it also changes the flavor. It
And
definitely elevates the flavor a lot.
oh yeah, and that's why I'm saying once you combine everything into the soup, it's gonna come out fine. I am not quite done yet because I still need to warm my soup up and have everything incorporate. But you use whatever soup you got. I just happen to have cream of chicken. If you wanted a vegetarian version of this, use cream of mushroom. Though you would have to use something else in lieu of the spam. For that, you're probably going to want to use mushrooms instead of spam for that. But if you're using mushrooms, you're going to want to add a little bit of salt because the frying portion is important to the cooking process for this soup. It is not negotiable.
Is it wrong that I'm just scooping out just the spam and eating it?
I mean, no, I can't blame you. Yeah. So with the cream of chicken,
So all these years I've been making fun of spam,
you're sleeping on it.
and this has it does not look good, but it has flavor. I mean,
It's
here it's
good.
chopped up. If you look in the soup, it's chopped up. It looks like basically chopped up ham in here
Yeah,
now. But
and it's gonna taste a lot better than your standard ham.
yeah, I mean, it has, and this is the plain where you took all the flavors out. 50% less
Still gonna
fat,
be good.
25% less sodium, 33% fewer calories. And yet, I would say, yeah, this is, I, I hate to say it, but I think I've come up with my, like you said, keep something in your cabinet at all times, just, for emergencies. I think I've
Yeah,
found my
this is
go to canned meat.
yeah, no. Canned meat, I think a lot of people sleep on canned meat because there's a huge stigma to canned meats like spam especially. I just think you got whatever you got. Can't Spam is a really quick and simple go-to canned meat if you're on a budget.
Well, I would kind of disagree with the budget because I was surprised how much it was.
The thing is that
But
with
meat overall right now is super expensive.
Yeah. And I was also saying like on a budget as well, because normally with canned spam, I would just slice it up. I would not use a whole can like this. It was just what my partner and I had. But this soup per portion would be easily at least two servings for my partner and myself. That's two meals, if not more, because of the everything we added to it. And the more you add, the more servings you're actually going to end up having. So it actually stretches it at cost per serving further the more you add to this soup.
I would say
But
this for mine, it's probably at least six servings, and I'm a eater. So, yep.
yeah, I'm just heating mine up on the stove and then I'll get myself a bowl to eat. But otherwise that's the soup.
Thank you so much. I I don't know if I'm excited or appalled that my mind has been expanded to include spam. Yep.
It's good for you.
Thank you so much. Any final words?
Uh, thank you for having me.
All right.